I want the music to keep playing in the middle of the thing, but I don't have an hour's worth of music, so I think I'm just gonna have to cut it.
That's fine.
So it's just gonna be us nerds talking football.
Well, people are just gonna have to get used to my voice.
All right, we're live. I mean, I'm really not gonna do any cringy like, hey, this is the first week. This is the TBS Sportscast.
You just did.
Week 1? Yeah, I did. I know, that was like my excuse to...
Like, comment, and subscribe for more content. No.
Don't do it.
Like, comment, subscribe for when we feel like putting out more content.
Well, we're going to try to do this every week. But it's mostly for us, I think, because I think it would be fun after, like, a whole season to go back and be like, if we did this last year, you guys would be making fun and be like, yo, remember last year when you were like, dude, Buffalo's going to spank Jacksonville? They ended up losing 6-9.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck it was. I don't even remember what the score of that game. I know we lost.
It was 7-3, but there were no touchdowns scored.
Oh, wait, how?
2 safeties and a field goal. Iowa did it in college football last week.
Oh my God, you're right. Oh, that was painful. It's all coming back to me.
Yeah. Well, college football's college football.
Well, here's a segue. I don't think that's going to happen tomorrow.
No, I think, I mean, I kind of know, well, not know, but I have a feeling who's going to win. And I even kind of have a score in mind.
What is it going to be, plus or minus 40? Like what is the over under on that?
Plus.
Over under plus whatever it is, take the fucking over.
I'm taking the over. I don't. It's the first week. I mean,
it's the first week. Defenses aren't ready. I think Allen and Stafford are gonna.
I think it's just gonna
have
be
their way.
You know, here's a couple question marks, and I have the advantage of at least my team being in this game, so I kind of have I like know more about.
You have a stake.
I have a stake, and I also have like more in-depth knowledge. Like I don't know the fucking secondary in the Jets. You know, I don't give a shit. I know like offense,
the supreme offense, but okay,
whatever.
No, I'm not kidding.
But like same thing with the Giants. I don't know shit about the secondary and the Giants. I know a couple things just because a good chunk of the Buffalo staff went over there recently. So there's a couple things that kind of like lean into the fact that there might be a problem on Buffalo's defense, and that is 2 things. One, we still don't have Tre'Davious White back.
Right.
He's out for 4 weeks minimum because we had to put him on the PUP list. Right. So he's not in. And then here's the other alarming thing that is kind of like more in depth than you guys would know, but we drafted our first round pick, Kaiir Elam. And so Dane Jackson is our number 1 corner for the game. He's our starting corner.
Right.
He's been on the team for a while. And we don't have a number 2. And even our coach said he's not sure like who's going to start between Kaiir Elam, our first round draft pick, and then Benford, who is like our 5th round pick. Now,
can we have whoever doesn't start? Because we have no corners.
you guys already poached enough from us. Oh wait, no, that was Wild Goose that went to the Jets. Never mind.
Yeah, and then I think we cut Wild Goose anyway.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I mean he was like kind of a practice squad guy anyway.
Yeah.
Well, no. Here's the alarming thing. Like we have a 5th round pick and a 1st round pick, and we went through an entire preseason, and our 1st round pick hasn't done anything to elevate himself above that 5th round pick. Like, why are they equal?
Yeah, okay. So I think you have to look at it 2 different ways. It's why is the 1st rounder not going? You could look at it like, why is the 1st rounder not outplaying the 5th rounder? Or you could be elated and be like, wow, we got a 5th rounder who's playing like as good as a 1st rounder. But I will say, just speaking from experience with the Jets recently, this could all be just gamemanship. This could just be like the coach just trying to fuck with the opposing offense, not knowing like who's going to be the corner. I mean, the Jets just like 2 days ago, they were like, yeah, Zach Wilson, he had a really good practice. He might start week 1. And then today they're just like, all right, yeah, he's not going to play until week 4.
Well, you guys are starting Flacco for the headline, right?
We are starting. Well,
not just the headline.
It's they.
That's how the media is going to take it.
The media will take it as, oh, it's the Joe Flacco revenge game.
Yeah.
How should I put this? The coaching staff actually has said multiple times they believe Flacco is a legitimate starter. Which concerns me.
I mean,
interesting.
He was,
but he's 37 now.
Flacco is now,
and he's not aging like Tom Brady.
No,
Flacco is now a certified arm punter.
But really, you're kind of, if we're the Jets, I don't mean to make this about the Jets because I know that
no,
the
that's
Bills
all
play
good.
Tomorrow. But if you're the Jets, you're kind of hoping for a Mike White-esque performance where the offensive scheme is just better, and then Flacco just has to throw the checkdowns, complete the play actions, and not fuck it up there, and you hope that you can win a nail biter. Because I honestly don't have much faith in the Jets defense to contain Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's going to run for 150 yards.
Well, I'm fine talking about this game too, because there's also the other weird caveat, I guess, about the game, because don't they have until Friday to extend Lamar on the Ravens? Isn't there a deadline for the extensions?
The deadline was the beginning of the season.
I think it's Friday actually.
It might be. I don't think it's getting done. It sounds like they're so far apart, and that it's Lamar wants Watson money, and I don't think the Ravens want to give him Watson money.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks that he needs to prove it still. I mean, I feel like he's good enough to pay, but you're right. I think he's just asking for way too much. I mean, I think it's just this past year really was a good year for the players, because holy shit, did guys get paid.
It was a good year for wide receivers.
It was a good year for a lot of people. I mean, I feel like a lot of, defensive ends and linebackers, even they got paid.
Yeah. I also think that I think NFL teams just had money to spend, and they didn't want to commit to a whole bunch of dead money or, wasted space, and then, be accused of tanking.
I thought the whole market got fucked up because of Jacksonville buying everybody.
Well, that too. Jacksonville. So they're kind of the ones who started it, because they went into the year with, I think, the most amount of cap space, and then we're like, okay, what do we do with all this money? And it was just Christian Kirk, you get $19 million, and everyone was just like, bro, he's not even worth $9.
The floor has been, they set the bar high. So now everyone's looking if Christian Kirk got 19,
but then they also look ridiculous because they went after Christian Kirk. But look at the wide receivers who actually got moved this year: AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, there's a bunch of others, but off the top of my head, those are the two big ones.
Off the top of my head, those are the two big ones.
Of Ridley, but that was a trade.
Yeah, well, no, not Ridley. Ridley got suspended.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, who am I thinking? The guy that went to Arizona at the draft day, he was part of a draft deal.
Oh, Marquise Brown.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown's cousin, who I believe got arrested on a DUI.
Yeah, he's not playing. I think he's having a problem right now there. Yeah. Yeah, the whole market was just bogus.
Yeah, and then that led to the whole draft day thing too, where Drake London, Garrett Wilson go off the board first, and then everybody just kind of panicked, oh my god, the wide receivers are going to be gone before I get to them.
Yeah,
and then it was just wide receiver, to the point where the Packers got kind of screwed.
I think that was the reason why the picks were so surprising with the wide receivers, is because the market was so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So everyone was well, shit. We should just draft one, and then we should get talent locked up for at least 3 years minimum or whatever the rookie contract's for.
Yep.
Well,
but back to They're back to tomorrow.
Okay,
Thursday.
yeah. Back to tomorrow. So there is that thing about Benford and Elam. There isn't a clear cut cornerback too, but I do think they both had a great preseason. Like they didn't really give up a lot of big plays. They made a couple of big plays individually. So I do think it's what you said, where I think both players, like, you know, Elam is good, but like the 5th rounder is a big surprise and he's just as good. But I also think that they both excel at different things. Benford, I think, was drafted, they said, because he's like NFL ready for the Bills defense. Because we
high
played
floor, low ceiling. Okay.
Yeah, so we were like, okay, so he plays right away because he's a good fit at our defensive scheme. Whereas Elam played mostly press man, so he would have to learn the Bills scheme more. But one of the things that we lacked in the Kansas City game that we lost in the playoffs was man-to-man coverage. So we drafted Elam because he excelled at press man coverage. So I think he's going to eventually be the starter, mostly because he's got a higher upside. He's like more athletic. He's a bigger build, I think. A lot more talented. I think they just don't have him like as a clear-cut number one because we haven't seen him in an actual game running the defensive game plan. So I think they just need to see it before they make that call. And if he doesn't work out, they can put Benford in and he'll plug right in. I think that's kind of really where we're looking with that.
Yeah.
We're talking about that because of the spread. So I mean, I know the Rams are going to score, but like Stafford's going through some shoulder issues, isn't he?
Yes, elbow, I believe.
So I don't know how much of these like big bomb passes we're going to see because he's got Cooper Kupp. Yeah. You know, problem. Who else? He's got Williams? Mike Williams?
Allen Robinson is now on their team, I believe.
Okay.
AR-15's on the team.
And then I think the only other person is Van Jefferson, but he's like not really a starting receiver. He's a gunner. Like he can just run straight up the sideline.
Yeah, he's the 9 guy.
I just don't know if he's got the arm strength because there's a lot of questions and a lot of comments that I've heard from the preseason games and during practice that he doesn't have that oomph in it yet after his injury. So we might see like a really boring nickel dime, dime and dunk type offense tomorrow from him. And if that's the case, we might not catch the spread because that's gonna, it'll chew clock.
I think Allen and the Bills are gonna make up for it, and more importantly, I think the Rams are gonna be suffering from Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah, I do too. I was thinking about that today.
They lost somebody on the line. Is it Whitworth? Is that the name?
Whitworth
D-line
retired.
or O-line?
Whitworth retired. Because he came back specifically for that Super Bowl run.
Yeah, he was the one who after the
again.
Super Bowl, like he was sitting down with his kids and just like, yeah, Daddy's gonna retire, and it was this cute moment. And
because the dude's like 43 and already has a Santa beard. Like,
yeah.
So they have questions on offensive line too.
They lost Von Miller. There's no OBJ.
Right. It's a completely different team.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, obviously you have McVay. Like,
yeah, McVay. You got Stafford.
He's a solid coach.
You got
if
Kupp.
Stafford's arm is okay, which I mean, it doesn't sound like it's okay, but yeah. Supposedly it's the same issue he was dealing with last year.
Oh, shit.
So this is nothing new. If he won the Super Bowl with it, maybe he's okay, and this is just overblown. Right. Or maybe they're gonna do like what they do with pitchers in baseball and keep him on like a pitch count, and just try to like.
I don't know if they'll do that.
Try to ease him into the year. Like,
you know what? They probably could do more running because they do have a pretty good back package.
Eckler.
I mean, they got Akers.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They got Cam Akers and they got Henderson.
Right. Henderson. Eckler's on the LA Chargers. What am I talking about?
It's a different LA team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, Akers got hurt, Henderson took over. They both played really well when they were the feature back. McVay prefers one running back. Like, he doesn't do committees, but I think they might have to do committee because Stafford is playing a little hurt, and they can share that workload instead of the same guy getting clobbered every touch rather. So I don't know. I think the Bills are going to win. Our defense secondary is a little questionable, but I think it balances out with Stafford's potential injury. But he could just show up and fucking ball out like he's fine, because they could just, shoot him up with that painkiller stuff and just say go for it.
Yeah.
You never know.
Do you have a score?
Oh God. I don't know.
I don't know if that's something that we want to do, but I have one in my head.
I'll say Bills, but I'll say like plus 40.
Okay, so you'll take the over.
All right. Like I'll say Bills plus 40. Like I don't know if I'm gonna say Bills, but the score is gonna be 40 plus, like total. If that's 24-16, if it's 24-17, like, you know what I mean? It'll be somewhere in that ballpark. It'll be a one-score game, I think. I don't think the Bills are going to take off and fucking run away with it.
Okay. I don't think they'll run away with it, but I think the Buffalo offense is going to be in a pretty good form. I'll say 31-21 Bills.
Okay.
I was in the similar ballpark. I'm 34-20 Bills.
Yeah, wow. All right. I'm like the most conservative, and I'll tell you why.
Because you're a Bills fan.
Well, because you know the Bills better than we do.
Yeah.
No, well, kind of. Last year, week 1, we played Steelers at home, and it was a fucking stinker. The Bills lost. They had like blocked punts for touchdowns. They didn't get anything going on offense. They were so off rhythm. So, like, I'm not sure if that's going to be a repeated thing. I'm sure coaching this year was like, okay, guys, we can't start the year like we did last year. Coming into that game as favorites, like 7-point favorites probably. Because it was the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger, for fuck's sake. At home.
Captain Fat Fuck.
At home,
the
even.
Leader of men.
And like, yeah, it was just, we put up such a stinker in week 1 last year. And I think the Super Bowl champs are like 4-0 starting the season for the past 4 years.
Yeah, so, I mean, half the time those are run by fucking Tom Brady.
Fair enough.
To say it.
Yeah, fair enough.
To say it, but
Tom Brady, Mahomes, it makes sense. Yeah, you're right. So, I mean, there's like a couple statistics that I'm like, reading too much into, I think. But
yeah,
the Bills should be like 30 points easy. They should be. So we're all picking Bills, basically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm picking Bills.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool. What was our next little mini topic? Brendan, explain to us what this survivor pick thing is, because like I read it a little bit, but you guys went back and forth a lot, and I didn't feel like reading it.
All right, so what we've decided on is a hybrid between your survivor idea and the K-Show's organization of points. So basically what they do every week, just to give you like a little bit of background, is every Friday, unless somebody wants to pick the Thursday game, in which case, as the show is closing on Thursday, they will just yell out, I'm taking they'll just be like, I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah.
But they always go by the Vegas spread. So they play with spread, and they pick 3 games a week. Based on your level of confidence of your pick, you assign them 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, and most points at the end of the overall complete season wins, so that even if you go to the playoffs and a winner is not like locked up and you haven't sealed a victory by point spread, you keep playing into the playoffs. So all the way up to the Super Bowl if you have to.
Okay, so when let's say I pick Bills with 3 points today, I can't pick Bills 3 points again for the rest of the season.
No, you can.
So what me and Liam thought up, how we're gonna do it is you can pick one team any team 3 times over the course of the season for any point value.
Okay.
But you can only pick you can't pick them 3 times for each point value. So you can't pick the Bills for 9 weeks and say, okay, I'm going to pick the Bills for 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. No, you only get to pick them for 3 games.
Got it. Okay.
And you can pick, so if you're conservative today, let's say, okay, for week 1, I want to pick the Bills for 1 point. And now you can pick the Bills 2 more times in the future, and you can give them any point value you want.
All right.
And
so why don't
we'll just have some sort of incentive. I don't know. Top overall points at the end of the season gets like a Steam game or something.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We can do that.
It's better than the show where the loser, the person who comes in last place has to do a dare.
Okay.
Yes.
Which
has ranged from the mundane,
Whopper.
like eating a Whopper.
The Whopper. I've shown him the Whopper. He knows.
Yes, I believe we both showed him the Whopper.
You guys are so excited about the Whopper.
Yes, it is.
Because we know he
I
wasn't
know.
faking.
You guys grew up for the past years watching the guy and knowing how much he hated Whoppers. But from the outside looking in,
It's not just the Whoppers. He hates so much.
He hates everything on it.
This is a man who will order chicken fingers and not dip them. Like, he cannot dip them in anything but, I think, not even ketchup. Like,
No, I think he's cool with ketchup.
Was it
Because he
ketchup or barbecue sauce?
He's definitely cool with ketchup because his problem with the Whopper was the mayo, not the ketchup.
Which admittedly is my problem, but I usually get it without mayo.
Yeah, but
even then,
obviously
I don't
as part
gag.
of it, part of the dare, he has to get it with mayo.
Yeah. But,
So yeah, he had to eat a Whopper.
Peter
it the
had to
year
eat
after, or
crickets.
was it last year? Yeah, Peter had to eat crickets.
it wasn't this past year. It was 2 years ago. Peter had to eat crickets. Last year, Don had to cut his hair.
Yes, that's right. Don, and for reference, Don has a full mullet, and it's pretty great.
Yes, he has like hockey guy mullet.
Yeah, he has Barry Melrose mullet.
Yes,
Gotcha.
Like full on Barry Melrose. And then I think the year before that, Don lost, and he had to put on full Eagles gear as a Giants fan, and
yes.
Did he have to go to like
Times Square?
No, did he do it at like the Summer Bash?
Maybe.
Yeah, but a lifelong Giants fan, he had to put on head to toe Eagles gear. He had to sing the Eagles fight song too.
Yes. So they do dares. We could just do it like winner gets a Steam game.
Yeah, the winner just the loser will just pitch in like $10 for a game or something.
Yeah, I've been looking, so I kind of have my picks.
Or what else might work? If we can't like crowdfund like a Steam game, maybe the winner gets like a little extra like Secret Santa thing because we're all in that.
Yeah, we'll see.
That
Not
would
everybody.
That would involve the person who won getting someone in here for Secret Santa.
I'm good with just adding like maybe even Steam funds. Like it doesn't need to be a game. I'm cool with just like something small. Like it's
true.
Fine.
Yeah.
In case someone needs to fund their Genshin Impact like addiction or some shit. Like,
Hey man, they got new Apex skins. I need them.
No, we'll buy the winner into a break, into one of those like card breaks. Which are like all the rage on. All right, so like Liam, if you already got your picks, then what are your picks? And can we pick our picks too, or do we have to all have different picks?
We can all
do the same.
You could copy. Like early on, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's later on in the season as like the scores are really close, where it's like for gamemanship, you might want to change up the values because if you're tied and then the person going first picks the picks, and then you can pick the same picks. Just guaranteed that you're tied.
When it comes down to it, for them, they submit their picks to Andrew, who's the director of the show, and he so you can't change them in the moment.
It's like a secret ballot, yeah.
And I think the Super Bowl's always worth 3 points. But I don't think if one person picks one team, I don't think you're forced to pick the other team. Or you might be just for gamesmanship. If you're up by a point in the Super Bowl and you pick one team and the other person picks the same team, then you just automatically win.
Yeah,
right?
That's fine.
So So maybe we'll make it so the other person has to winner. The person in the lead will get to choose which team they think is going to win the Super Bowl, and then the other person has to go with the other team.
Yeah, but
I think we do it like
we'll
that.
cross that bridge when we get to the Super Bowl.
I feel like it'd be more fun if each week somebody goes first and then picks their picks, and then the remaining two can't pick the same game. So maybe like we do a draft. It would be fun. I mean, it's only going to be the three of us doing it, I think, since we're the only ones starting this.
I don't know.
So like, let's say you pick a game. All right, you pick your first game, like the one that you want, and then Liam picks a game that can't be yours, and then I pick a game, and then we just have to like keep picking one at a time, different games that we think. Is that too complicated? I just feel like
I feel like it's a little too complicated.
A little too complicated. I think it's just I'll say my choices. Brendan will say his choices. You could say your choices.
And like, and then you think about these ahead of time, and then if you and Liam steal two of my picks, then I'm kind of like, Well,
you still got the third, and then you can figure out the other one on the fly.
Yeah,
we can do that to fuck you because maybe you're in the lead, so we take the easy ones. But remember, like if we pick two, then we can't pick that same team. So it's like But it's cool. We can just pick the same ones. I just feel like if at the end of the season, like if someone's ahead and someone's not,
I think it'll make it easier too at the end of the season, because like, what if you guys say your two picks and you fuck me into having to pick a team that I've already picked 3 times, and then I have to like forfeit the pick.
Oh, that's true. That's fair. But I don't think that would really happen.
I don't think it would really happen, but like. If the other two were in on this, I think it'd be a possibility. But if it's just going to be us three,
well, if it's us three, there's less of a possibility of us taking.
I know.
We would not be able to do it with more than 3 people. But we'll just do it the way. So like Liam, I guess you can pick yours first. I'm not even.
So I
gotta bring up the. Did you guys bring up your own the little quick sheets that I made? I got home so late today, and I was like trying to shove food in my mouth before this raid. That like this spreadsheet is very bare bones, and
that's fine. Just tell me, like, show me how to like fill it out. Like let's say you fill out the form as if you're Liam. When Liam, go ahead and just start doing your picks.
Can I edit it, or is this read only?
It's read only, so I said to you go to file and you hit make a copy, and that'll make a local copy for you.
Oh, okay.
And that way you can track that for the rest of the season.
All right, I made a copy for myself, but Brendan, just when he's doing his picks, just enter the picks on the one that I'm looking at right now, just so I can see what it's supposed to look like.
All right,
and then you can get rid of it afterwards.
I'll make a copy for myself too. We'll use this as like a
that's the base.
We'll use this as a master one with like everybody's score total.
Yeah, we'll do that. Sure.
Okay, so
Liam, go ahead.
Any order you want. You can start at 1. You can start at 3. Whatever you want.
I'm gonna start with my 3-point. I'm going to go with the.
Do you want me to play? I got music. I can play the music.
Yeah, you play.
Which one was that? Was that the NBA one?
No. That one
is. That's Monday night, right? That's Chris Berman's.
Yes, that's the Chris Berman.
Oh shit!
Like 2 minutes around the league.
Yeah.
That's what they play when they do the picks. So we're gonna make this authentic.
I think it's Primetime Song 1. Is this it? Yes, NFL Primetime Song 1. You want the link?
Loop. I'm good. Go ahead.
All right.
It's not going to be on the VOD, but it's going to be live. So
yeah, that's fine.
Maybe it'll be on the VOD. Who knows?
No, I took it out.
For my 3-point pick, I'm going with the Monday night game. I'm going to select the Broncos to beat the Seahawks.
Okay, easy.
Yeah, like let's just that's kind of the point, is that I'm putting all of it into that game. But if somehow Geno Smith leads a comeback against the Broncos, I'm sorry, I can't say that. I'm going with the Broncos over the Seahawks. My 2-point, let's see. I had this, and then what the hell happened to week 1? Oh, here we go. Right. My 2-pointer, I'm going with the Chiefs over the Cardinals. That's a 425 game. And
Chiefs over Cardinals.
yes. So I'm going big early. Chiefs and Broncos in the first week.
Okay.
And for my 1 point play, sorry, Brendan, I'm going with the Titans over the Giants.
All right, so you see how I just put 1, 2, and 3 underneath the teams that Liam picked.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like, treat it as like, if you pick the Titans again, then it'll be like that. You know, it'll look like that. And then you're responsible because, I guess I can kind of try to keep track of everybody's.
You did 1, 2, 1 for Titans, but you mean like you could do 1, 2, and 3, and that's it for the Titans, right?
You could do 1, 2, 3, but if he wants to make him his 1 point pick again,
okay,
like you're totally allowed to do that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But you can only pick the Titans 3 times in the season.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
All right. So let's say, if the Titans beat the Giants, then this 1 becomes a green. And let's say Geno Smith pulls the impossible and beats the Broncos, then 3 becomes a red.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you kind of just disregard the red boxes and you count up all the green boxes, and I think that's the easiest way to figure out your point
and then
total.
we'll just do it on a honor system. If anyone,
Yeah,
if we
we'll
cheat
do it on
against
an
each
honor
other and
system.
we deserve to die,
But we always have the VOD to come back to
That's true.
Here are the receipts. Like,
Receipts.
Yeah, we have the VOD. This will serve as the master spreadsheet, so I can put like point totals over here. So Liam, Puz.
Or you could just put 3 tabs, 1 tab for each of us.
I could.
We'll see. We'll figure it out
Let's
later.
say like Liam 37, Puz.
I get
Oops.
you.
Yeah,
I
okay.
understand it now.
All
What are
right.
your picks then? Or
Well,
Liam,
my
do you want to
picks.
explain any of your picks? But I think they're pretty straightforward.
I think they're pretty straightforward. The Broncos, I'm actually really high on the Broncos this year. I think that they can actually probably take it to the Chiefs. I just think that they have a really solid team, especially now that they kind of have quarterback figured out with Russell Wilson. For the Chiefs over the Cardinals, the Cardinals just don't inspire confidence in me after their collapse last year, and they're not gonna have Hopkins for what, 6 weeks?
6,
So
yeah.
that's, Murray doesn't have, like, Murray's a good quarterback, but is he Mahomes? No. And for the 1 point, the Titans over the Giants.
Who do they have at receiver?
Marquise, wait, they don't have Marquise
Yeah,
Brown. 'Cause
right,
he's
like-
probably,
Hollywood Brown, yeah, because he's
And Kirk
suspended.
is gone. Right?
yeah.
Who the fuck do they have receiving?
That's a
Alright.
good question. So, but yeah, you can kind of see where my thought process is with picking the Chiefs over Arizona. Like, I just don't see them. I think even if the Chiefs missing Tyreek Hill, they're still gonna be good.
All right, not
And
to go
Titans-
too.
Titans over Giants. Is just, I don't have faith in the Giants at all. I'm sorry, Brendan.
bro. You don't
pick
have
Ravens. I don't. I
to.
don't care.
You don't have to apologize because my 1 point play is also the Titans. If this were a spread format, I don't know what the spread is. I can check it really quick, but I probably would pick the It's a 5.5 point spread. I could see the Giants covering, possibly. What's funny is I was listening to the hack Dan Orlovsky on the K Show today while I was driving home. And he's actually picking the Giants to win this game because the Titans are having like O-line problems and their receivers like flat out, now that Corey Davis is gone, now that A.J. Brown is gone, their wide receiver core is kind of shit. But the problem is the Giants' cornerback position is also hot garbage. We do not have a cornerback 1. Therefore, anybody in a flag football league can run all over us, plus Derrick Henry. I'm taking the Titans for my 1 point pick.
Okay.
My 2 point pick, arm punt Flacco. That's all I have to say. Ravens are my 2 point pick.
Fair.
This is not going to be a Mike White situation. Joe Flacco is going to come into this game thinking that he's going to run all over the Ravens defense. The problem is the Ravens defense is still good. The Ravens offense is a lot better than the Jets offense and better than the Jets defense. I think this is just it's just a better team beating a weaker team, and there's really nothing else about it. My 3-point play, I really haven't had a chance to think about this. There are a lot of close-ish games.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks New England is opening in Miami in the House of Horrors.
For them.
The House of Horrors.
That one was tempting. I was looking at that and I was
with Tua and Tyreek Hill. If the connection is there, the Patriots are kind of just mid now,
They have Matt Patricia as their fucking offensive coordinator, all right? That's worse than mid.
It's worse than mid, but
Don't they have
what?
McDaniels too?
I'm going to
somebody come back?
And
Judge. Oh.
I am going to go in a completely different direction, however. Now that I notice this matchup, my 3-point play will be the New Orleans Saints on the road against their hated rivals, the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons are projected to be one of the worst teams in the league this year. With Marcus Mariota at quarterback, even though it's not going to be his fault, he's got Kyle Pitts, he's got Drake London. That's the team. Okay?
Yeah.
The New Orleans Saints have so many weapons on offense. Sean Payton, he's been there forever. He knows how to beat this team. Atlanta, you can never trust with a lead.
Wait, Sean Payton?
Oh yeah, he's not there anymore, right?
He's not there anymore.
Bro, I don't fucking pay attention to other
He
teams.
retired, bro.
You're picking them.
Okay, but you know what? Head coach really doesn't fucking matter in this case. Because he's not playing. I'm picking the Saints. 3 points.
Okay.
Okay.
I was looking at that matchup too myself. God, that's gonna be a weird game. I don't know enough about either of those teams. I do know that New Orleans, they have a new coach.
Taysom.
Is it Taysom? No way.
No, it's Jameis.
It's Jameis again, yeah.
Yep, turnover bakery.
Last year, Jameis got hurt, and they had some other guy that I'd never heard of.
Taysom. Well, they had Taysom, and then they had...
Taysom was out too. It was somebody else. Book. It was Ian Book.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It was Ian Book.
Oh, my God. I remember that, the one series where everyone was like, oh, my God, he might be the next coming. And then it was just oh.
It was just a New Orleans version of Mike White. But at least Mike White had some success.
Mike White had a game. Ian Book had a quarter.
All right. For my 3-pointer. Yeah, I think I got to take Tennessee over the Giants.
Oh, for the 3-pointer. God damn.
I just, it's weird. I've never done this before, and I haven't watched a show do it. You know what I mean? So, it's new to me. So, maybe that's a little bold, but I just feel like the Giants are rebuilding. Brendan said that you don't even have a secondary. I know Tennessee's got a weird wide receiver issue. They still got fucking Tannehill throwing. I don't know. I still just think the Giants on the road down in Nashville, not a good fucking matchup.
Good start.
A good start.
Hey, a lot of teams, they treat their best defender well. They sign him to a long-term deal. They give him guaranteed money. You know what we did to our best defensive player? We cut him.
Yeah, I was about to say, you have a best defensive player?
Yeah, it was Blake Martinez, and we told him, take a fucking hike.
and now it's probably Leonard Williams. Pay you.
Yeah, now it's Leonard Williams.
He already got paid, so he probably doesn't give a fuck.
Okay, my number 2 pick. I gotta pick a home team, I think, for this one. Home field advantage is it's big,
Oh man, I just realized I picked all 3 road teams. Yeah, and Liam, Chiefs, and Broncos.
There's
Chiefs
a lot
are
of
road.
There's a lot of matchups that the road
Broncos
team.
are away. Chiefs are home. No, not Chiefs are home.
Chiefs are away.
Chiefs are away. Titans are home.
There's a lot of teams that I think win, but they're all the away teams. It's really weird. Indianapolis at Houston, away team. You know, I think Indy's going to win that one.
Yeah, Philly, Detroit was
Cincy
one
at
I was
home
looking
against
at.
Pittsburgh.
I see Cincinnati winning that game.
I do too, but Pittsburgh does have a scary good defense.
And the confidence is not high because I also think that the Bengals are going to have some sort of Super Bowl hangover.
I think they're going to have way less of a hangover because
It'll be less, but it'll still
one because they lost.
Them. Yeah, but it'll still affect them. I think for the first couple weeks.
They're a much younger team too.
I think
than the Rams.
I think. I'm going to take. Oh man, I don't know. These are all suck. I'll take Denver. I'll take Denver over Seattle for the 2-point game.
Okay.
I really Denver is a top 8 team. Like if Denver makes it to the Super Bowl, I would not be surprised. Like
you guys are so sold on the Broncos. I'm really not at this point.
Listen, they haven't shown anything yet, but on paper, you have somebody who's been to the Super Bowl as your quarterback. That's something.
Yep.
You have a pretty good receiver core, I feel like.
Yeah, I think because it's what Cortland
Sutton, Judy's not too bad. I think he's not had a good year yet, but I mean, look who's been throwing to him.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like the Broncos have been the team where if they get the quarterback, they were a quarterback away. They just had a real issue finding that quarterback. I mean, when Bridgewater was playing for them, they were actually halfway decent. But then Bridgewater got hurt, and Bridgewater is mid. He's not that. He's not great. He's not terrible. Wilson is Mr. Unlimited.
Yeah. I mean, in just the matchup form, they're playing against the Seattle Seahawks,
who are projected to be a bottom 5 team in the league.
Who's even on that team?
Jamal Adams.
Yes, Jamal Adams, and Liam will never stop eating giggling shit about it.
No, Jamal Adams, now he's suffering. He's on the NFC. He's on the NFC Jets.
Yep.
It's what is it?
It is with Geno.
Schadenfreude.
He's got Geno. Yeah.
He's got Geno Smith as his quarterback, and you reap what you fucking sow. You want to talk about oh, I'm so depressed, I'm on the Jets. And then it's just I want to go to a contender. Oh, okay, monkey's paw curls. Get shipped off to Seattle.
You went to a team that was a contender for half a season, and now you're back where you started.
Seattle's crack started to show. Last year, didn't Wilson break his finger, and he was out for 4 weeks, and then that 4 weeks they just sucked without Wilson.
He got thrown at home. God damn it.
Yeah. But
So I mean, at least for the pick, yeah. I mean, I am high on the Denver Broncos, but I'm also high on the fact that they're playing against the Seattle Seahawks. That's my 2-pointer.
It's really interesting. I think in any other division, the Broncos are better, but they're in the group of death. Let's be honest here.
I think in the group of death, it's the Raiders who are the odd man out.
I don't know.
Even with Devontae Adams, Derek Carr he's good, but
even with all the bullshit last year, the prophecy of the coin fucking carrying their asses to a playoff game, they can show up.
We talking about the Raiders?
Yeah, the Raiders.
Yeah,
Derek Carr.
They're good. Don't get me wrong. I think
he's got Devontae Adams now, man.
And he has Waller.
He's got Waller, but the thing he's got fucking Devontae Adams pulling defenders away from Waller. That's the scary thing.
I know it's kind of part of the reason why I picked Waller in fantasy.
Yeah, it's a good pick. I got fucked on my tight end picks because every time I was about to pick a tight end, the people ahead of me took Knox, they took Waller, they took even Gesicki. I think Brendan took on me. Every time I was thinking about going deep for a tight end because I needed one, someone took him. I ended up with Ogbawagani. That's my starting tight end. I got so boned.
The Raiders have no one on their first injury report of the season. They are full bore going against the Chargers to open the season.
Oh, they're cursed. They're gonna get so hurt. I
Carr
believe
almost had 5,000 yards last year.
Yeah, Puz, I
It's
believe you still have a 1
68%.
point.
Yeah, you do. 68% completion percentage, 4,800 yards. Carr can do it, man. I think he gets a lot of shit that he doesn't deserve.
I agree. He's
I
like,
agree,
he's a decent quarterback. I feel like he's going to be a Tannehill though, where it's like he's good enough to be a starter, but like everyone's going to be like, is he good enough to take you the whole way?
I think he's better than Tannehill. Like, because you remember Tannehill was when he was on the Dolphins. Like, even like as a Jet fan, I'm like, yo, Tannehill doesn't look like a good quarterback. Like,
Looks like you need a year to evaluate me.
yeah, like I mean,
who was my 3 pick again? That was
your 3 was the Titans.
Yeah.
2 was the Broncos.
Titans. Okay, yeah, I got the Broncos. All right.
I'm the only one to pick an NFC team so far.
Well,
yeah, because honestly, the NFC is it's a free for all.
Yeah. So speaking of which, I decided while we're doing our picks rather, that my number 1, my 1 point game, every week I'm just gonna pick the game of the week, and it's gonna be a game that I have zero faith in, and a pick that I have zero faith in, but it's such a weird matchup. Maybe it's gonna be fun. I don't know, but I want to have a stake in the game when I watch it.
Okay.
So I think my 1 point game is gonna be Jacksonville over the Commanders.
Ooh. I like it. A potential tank pick.
Yeah. So I was thinking about taking a home team with Carolina and Cleveland. You know, the Baker Bowl.
the Baker revenge game. I think that's actually going to be a revenge game.
I think that's going to be a good ass game.
I think so too.
If I'm going to wake up Sunday, the Jet game's going to be on the main TV. I'm obviously going to get a red zone stream, but I would really think about getting that game on a third, just separate, because I'm going to want to follow that. Just Baker revenge tour. I
was thinking about making that game a pick too, or rather, that would be the pick. But I feel like at some point I'm gonna need to pick some NFC teams. So why not start with this game where there's an NFC team playing?
Yeah.
Oh shit! You know what? No, fuck it. Right, Washington. I'm not picking Washington, so that's not an NFC game.
Yeah, you're picking.
Right.
You're picking.
I gotta pivot. We're going to the Carolina game. I'm picking Carolina to beat Cleveland.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's fair. I'll pivot because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to confidently pick Carolina to win any other game this year. Just because they had such a rocky road in the beginning of the year. And I promise next week I'll do my picks ahead of time.
That's fine. Yeah, this is kind of spur of the moment, but
it's all right.
Panthers.
Juices flowing.
Are there any other give me games for the Panthers? Oh, they play the Giants next week.
Oh, hell yeah. I think I already know what my 3 points going to be.
Hell yeah, dude.
Well, you can only pick
2 against the Falcons, and they play the Lions. That's really it. They actually have a really fucking difficult schedule.
All right.
Browns, Giants, Saints, Cardinals, 49ers, Rams,
I'm not confident
Bucks.
in anybody. I'm not going to be like, oh man, the Lions are going to suck this year.
No. Lions are at least a 6-win team.
I think
Book it.
We could do that. We could do
Lions 6-win team.
What's your NFL hot take? Lions 6-win team. I mean, you know what? I don't think it's that hot of a take, but
it's really not. I mean, if you look at it,
Philadelphia. So let's go, boys.
But
cheer for you right away.
On that note, though, if you look last year, how many heartbreaking games did the Detroit Lions lose by 1 point?
At least 3, 4.
There were at least 2 that they lost by a last-second field goal.
Yeah, including one which
including
is
the
Tucker's
Tucker game.
Tucker's like 60-yarder or whatever the fuck that
the
was.
record. Yeah, that was like what, a 65-yarder?
Yeah. So I mean, like, just knowing that, like, holy shit, they're one score or even one stop away from being a 5-win team last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they're
it's
6 teams or six.
It's
six
not.
wins.
But part of rebuilding is being able to finish those games.
Yeah.
You know, like Giants had the same thing last year where they lose in week 2 and 3 on last second field goals. And, you know, week 2 still offside gate. Fucking bullshit. Andrew Thomas was not offside and they got a free re-kick. Because they missed that kick and then they threw the flag. They threw it so fucking late. And then when I went to the Falcons game and they scored with like a minute left and Matt Ryan was like, hold my beer. And he just fucking marches them down the field. And I'm like, here we go again. And Young Hui Koo hits the fucking walk-off field goal. So the Giants could have been 2-1 last year and instead we're fucking 0-3. Good, like rebuilding teams, part of the rebuild is being able to finish these close games. And I think that's all that's separating the Lions from, you know, getting out of the doldrums again.
I would agree.
I agree too. I think that was also one of the things that, like, toward the end of the season for the Jets, it was something that came up where it was like, you gotta, like, those 1-score games, you gotta, like, close it out. Like, because I'm trying to think of what we had. Because obviously, beginning of the year, we got blown the hell out. I mean, there's only, like, maybe 1 or 2 games where I think it was, like, kind of close. The Panther game, which was kind of a snooze fest. I'm trying to think what else. I think there was a Dolphin game that was actually kind of close. Actually, I think both Dolphin games were kind of close. We almost beat the Buccaneers. Like, we almost beat Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Like, what was that, week 17, I think? So it was like, you know, I mean, really, it really just came down to one goal line play. I think it was 4th and goal. Wilson was supposed to do a jet sweep, but they modified a play that was supposed to be like an option where it's like a jet sweep or Wilson takes the ball. But they were like, okay, we're modifying this. It's no, you take the ball, just give the ball to like Barrios on the jet sweep. And it got lost in communication. Wilson thought he saw the option to go for it. He fucked it up. We lost, but we almost had them. So I think toward the end of the year, the Jets started to get a bit better with keeping the games closer. And I'm hoping that they continue that trend. Like, I don't think they're going to beat the Ravens, but I think if they can keep it within like a score, maybe 10 points, I'll be happy.
I put this game out of my fucking memory, but like you bringing up games that you should have won makes me now remember that we almost beat the fucking Chiefs in Kansas City on Monday Night Football. That was when they were so bad.
Yeah. That was when they had Sorensen playing safety, I think.
That was their lowest low, and Mahomes was like gifting interceptions to the Giants' middle linebackers.
That was one of those weeks where, like, that was in the middle of Mahomes' oh man, he might be coming back down to earth sort of phase.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, you know, fuck you, no, I'm Patrick Mahomes, bitch.
Well, I think the thing with that, it was like usually he could just get back on the field and, you know, score some points after he fucks up. Like he's that kind of player. The problem was their defense was just letting the games get too far out of the way. Where if Mahomes fucked up, it would become out of his reach. You know what I mean? Because the defense would just like give up points. It would give up, you know, scores, all that crap. You know.
Oh yeah, this game we beat the Saints, but this was the game that like Taysom Hill just ran over us for like for his fantasy game day that game.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my god, we won this game in overtime, but it was just oh my god, was I playing against Taysom Hill that week? I don't remember,
Oof.
but whoever had him got like 25 points out of Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much good. We've gone for about an hour now. We
Yeah,
covered the picks. We covered the Thursday night game. Usually we could get another conversation in.
Did you want to do like reverse power rankings?
We could do that as long as you guys are okay. Like I just know it's getting late.
Yeah.
So if you guys are down,
I still got about another like hour in me. I mean, not that it's gonna take that long, but you know,
I haven't really thought about it, but I'm sure I could think of 5 shit teams.
yeah.
All right, yeah. So do you guys want to just go AFC, NFC?
Yeah, we could do AFC, NFC.
All right. At least we should probably store this somewhere too. So I'll make a spreadsheet really quick. I don't care who goes first. Whoever does go first, I'm okay with going third. So if Liam or Brendan, you guys want to fight for who goes first?
Liam, you go first.
Okay. Who do I think is gonna be the worst team in the AFC? Damn.
Or it should say who is currently the worst team in the AFC.
Yeah. Who do I think is? Well,
I thought we were just gonna do like worst 5, not even by conference.
No, like Liam is gonna pick, and that's the worst team in the AFC that he feels.
and
then we kind of go up. We could go top to the bottom if you guys want, if it's easier.
Okay.
We can pick like the best team and then second best, third best, or we can go from the bottom up, whichever you guys want to do.
Well, I guess I'll start with Jacksonville.
As the worst team.
Yes.
All right, so that's... I gotta bring up the AFC. I gotta see them all together, you know? Let's see.
Yeah, I've got them all up right here.
Yep. So do I.
Conference. Here we go. Like I know them if I have to sit it down, but like looking at them all at the same time, I can kind of start ordering them in my head better. Yeah, I'm actually completely okay with that.
I mean, they were the number 1 overall pick. They were there for a reason.
Didn't they get number 1 2 years in a row or some shit?
Yeah, because
2 years in a
took
row.
Lawrence last year.
Ugh.
They had Urban Meyer as their goddamn head coach. See, they must be punished for that. Trevor Lawrence might be an okay quarterback, but I don't see a wide receiver on that team that really stands out to me that makes me go, oh yeah, that's going to be his dude. Like, I don't think he has that dude. They have 2 good running backs, but it doesn't really matter.
We haven't even seen yet because he was hurt all of last year.
Exactly. Like we don't even know if he's going to be any good. They still have James Robinson, but I mean, I feel like he might be pissed because they took fucking Travis Etienne.
Nice pitch, Lookie.
They're also one of the few teams to play 4 preseason games, and they lost all 4.
Yeah, like that's not a good sign. Like I know it's preseason. I know it's preseason. I mean, but the Jets won all 3 preseason games, and they're the best team ever. So, but yeah, no, Jacksonville. Until they show me otherwise, I think they're the worst team.
I'm completely on board with that. Pencil me in. Jags are the worst team in the AFC.
I mean, we don't all have to agree.
We don't have to agree, but
no, we don't have to agree, but we do all agree.
I think what Puz is saying though is that I picked the Jags. Now, Brendan, you pick the next team.
Yep. So who would be next in line? The second best.
Who is the second worst? The second worst team in the AFC is probably the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
They could probably go back, 1-2. Like, they will definitely be a tank bowl this year, but who do they have left? Who even is their roster? besides Davis Mills. And Davis Mills could, like Liam said with Lawrence, turn out to be a decent quarterback. They have Kyle Allen as their backup. They have Rex Burkhead as their running back.
Well, they named that rookie their starting running back. So
yeah, they have Darius Anderson. I'm just looking at their roster, not their depth chart. But
I mean, they do have Brandon Cooks as a wide receiver. Like
they have Cooks, Dorsett, and Tyler Johnson. OJ Howard is their tight end. Bunch of fucking people I never. They have Laramie Tunsil on their line. Okay.
Oh boy,
dude, Laramie Tunsil's been in the league for 7 years now.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's been 7 years since the gas mask.
It's been 7. It's 7 years in Texans years though. It's like dog years down there.
Well, remember a couple of those
he
years
came
were
from Miami.
Dolphins. Yeah, a couple of those were Miami years.
Oh, jeez. That poor guy.
Miami thought that they had the steal of the century because that dude fucking fell to like the second round because of a goddamn gas mask bong. Like
the only noticeable names I see on their defense are Christian Kirksey, Desmond King, and Derek Stingley Jr.
Yeah.
Like I think this is they're going to compete with Jacksonville in the race to the bottom of the AFC South. And they will make for 2 very fun Tank Bowl videos.
Yep.
All right, Puz. Who is the third worst team?
I already know what's coming.
Yeah,
Puz,
I mean, there's only one other team that is like a clear-cut bottom of the barrel team, and that's going to be the Jets.
Yep.
And this
I knew it. I knew that was coming.
I mean, it's been said. There's a lot of question marks with the Jets. I think Saleh is going to do better this year, but he just still doesn't have. Like, you guys have had great draft capital, and I feel like you guys should have been able to build a team better than what you have by now, but I also haven't seen any of the picks play for this year. But
I mean, we are expecting Sauce Gardner to be the next coming of Darrelle Revis.
But is Wilson going to be your longtime starter at quarterback?
That is a good question that we do not know. I mean, he's already going to miss at least the next 3 games, possibly 4. Again, like we can't.
It's a Darnold situation all over again, isn't it?
Okay, so I have my reservations about Darnold. I think I've said it before. I don't think Darnold was very smart. He had all the arm talent in the world. I do not dispute. I don't think he was very smart. I think Wilson is a smarter quarterback. However, I think that in the vein of like Chad Pennington, he might be an injury-prone quarterback where it's like you're just going to end up going like, wow, what could have been, man? Like, what could have been? But I don't know. Like he could also, it could be a Darnold situation. He could flame out, like, you know, and then in a year or two, we're talking about, you know, who are the Jets going to select as their quarterback again? But I think when looking at the rest of the team, I like the wide receiver room. I like the running backs. The offensive line is still questionable, especially now that Becton is hurt again.
Yeah, Becton's another one where I feel like he's just so injury prone. It's crazy.
That's just his body. I mean, it's just he's a big guy. Boy. He's a big boy, and I don't think the knees can take it.
All right, so I feel like this is going to be the part that's going to be. It's going to start getting more difficult.
Very difficult.
This
is very difficult.
We got the 3 clear-cut answers out of the way. Now we start getting into the teams that would be rather
These are
offended.
all mid teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone's got to be 4th from the bottom. I feel like the next 4 or 5 teams are probably going to be roughly in the same caliber, but they have to be put into some sort of order.
Yeah.
So start us off.
I'm going to go with. Might be a little unpopular. Maybe. I'm going with the Colts.
I kind of agree.
Ever since they collapsed that last week of the season, I have zero respect for them. The
collapse was mostly on Wentz though, and he's gone. But now they have another Wentz.
But now they have Ryan. Like, I
no,
can't.
it's so weird.
Like, I can't. I cannot say, oh yes, they upgraded. They went from Wentz to Ryan. Like,
I mean,
that
we've
an
seen
upgrade?
it. I don't know. I mean, like we've seen how they did with Phillips, which at least got them to the playoffs at that point. Barely, but they got there. I mean, it depends on how healthy Taylor stays. If Taylor plays like he did last year, the Colts are going to be decent. But at number 4, just because we have giant question marks about their team and they collapsed pretty regularly, I think that's fair to put them next in line.
Like, I think that game, they're going to look back and go, that was the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Sort of like what Jacksonville, like when they collapsed in the AFC Championship game, and it was like they never were the same. I think that for the Colts, that's going to be it. I have questions about the wide receivers. I have questions about the quarterback. The defense, I think, is going to be okay, but I don't think they're going to be great. And really, the book, like, word is out on Jonathan Taylor now. Everybody knows it's like, okay, you have Jonathan Taylor. You have a great running game. They're going to coach around that, and they're going to try to stop him. Is he going to be the next Derrick Henry where, like, you can't really stop him? I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm good with that.
So I'm going with the Colts. That might be unpopular to some, but
definitely not unpopular to me. I think if you had to pick a team there, I think the Colts fit it the best.
I would agree.
Boo! They walk Judge. Boo!
Fuckers.
Now, this very interesting. 5th from the bottom.
I think I know who you would go with.
Do you? Because I'm kind of stuck between 2 teams right now. There's a very big asterisk on one team, and I don't think I'm going to pick them for that reason. My 5th worst team in the AFC is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Again, I feel like these 4 teams are roughly like they could interchange throughout the next 4 weeks.
If it wasn't, can I say who it would have been if it not the Steelers?
No.
Okay.
Until they're picked.
They're picked, which I have a feeling they're going to go very soon after the Steelers.
Yeah, I think within the next pick or two.
I'm guessing.
I think Puz is going to pick. I think Puz knows which team I'm going to pick. Okay, the Steelers. Roethlisberger's gone. You are now stuck with Mitch, Piss and Titties, Trubisky, and you have Kenny Pickett waiting and Mason Rudolph. Rudolph really hasn't shown you anything. Really hasn't inspired you. Like a ton of confidence if anything happens to Trubisky. And Trubisky really, is very pedestrian as a Bear. He led a couple of weird comebacks last year. I think that was kind of more on the defense than him. He made the throws he needed to make, but he didn't blow you away and come back. And then, his offense was shit to get in that situation in the first place. Outside of the star players, like outside of TJ Watt, they have Myles Jack on defense, they have Cam Hayward, they have Minkah Fitzpatrick. They can't be everywhere at the same time. Najee Harris could be a great weapon now that it's not going to be, the offense isn't going to run so much through Ben anymore because he's not there. Your wide receivers are Deontay Johnson, Claypool, Pickens, and Freiermuth at tight end. That's not scary. This isn't the AB Juju Deontay Johnson room that was here a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I think that Tomlin is slowly working his way out of Pittsburgh. I wouldn't be surprised if he's only there for another year or two. I think the Steelers are about to enter a long period of midness, especially with the strength of the AFC North now. I think the Bengals and the Ravens are going to be the top dogs for the next 5 to 10 years in this division. I think Pittsburgh's time is over. They waited too long. It's just like the Giants in a way. They kind of waited too long to do this rebuild, and now they're kind of stuck in purgatory.
Yeah. I
Steelers are my
agree.
5th worst team.
I agree. When I see the Steelers, I kind of see a team. I see the Colts, but with a better defense. Nothing. I mean, outside, like, Harris is a good running back, and I think, like, I was actually looking to target him in fantasy. I was a little, but I mean, he went really high, so couldn't help it. The wide receiver room doesn't really scare me. I think Claypool is a head case. Deontay Johnson isn't, at least from what I know. Like, he is good. But again, you have Mitch throwing, and that when you look at the quarterback room, it's like, I don't know if Mitch is going to be the starter for the whole season. I think at some point there's going to be enough outcry and Pickens is gonna get his shot. And we'll see what happens when that day comes. But until that day comes, I don't see the Steelers being very good. And like you said, they're in a competitive division where right now they're probably more competing with the Watson-less Cleveland Browns.
I would say there's like a 50 to 60% chance they come in last this year.
Yes. High chance that they're last.
So speaking of the Browns,
I knew when he said asterisk, I knew what he meant.
Yeah, so like I'm looking at two teams for this position for my pick, but I gotta go with the Browns because they're going with a new quarterback. Their quarterback's not even going to be playing for 11 games or something, or
11 games.
10 games, and he's coming back week 11.
No, he's
or 9 games
out
or something like
11
that.
games.
Whatever. Yeah, and
fuck him.
Here's the question. I don't want to like really take up too much time on this either, but
yeah, I was gonna say we've spent a lot of time on this already. We've only got through 6 teams.
Is Watson good? Is he like that good?
Yes,
he's good, but I just don't fucking see him as like a fucking.
Okay, here's the thing. He's good, but by the time he comes back, he's gonna be out of the league for almost 2 years.
Almost.
That's true.
It's gonna be a full season and a half.
He didn't play at all last year.
He didn't play at all last year. Yep.
Yeah.
Barely played in the preseason.
Well, I'm sure he's gotten a lot of exercise running to and from the courthouse.
Yay! Well, you know what? He's got him. You know what? I'm sure he is well massaged.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, his legs are well oiled and ready to go.
Well, I won't take up too much time, but like I said, I was looking at 2 different teams for this position.
All right.
Liam, I think
back to you.
Cleveland has got a more downside than the other.
Yep. All right. I am going to probably maybe not where you thought that this team was going to be, but I just think that there are better teams now. I'm going with the Patriots.
Okay.
I saw that one coming because Patriots.
Because while as much as it pains me to say it, and I think Mac Jones is a good quarterback, and he might very well end up being the best quarterback out of his respective quarterback class, they have no wide receivers whatsoever. I think their offensive line is mid at best. I don't even know who their running backs are right now.
It's just Rondale, or no, not Ramondre Stevenson, and I think White.
Who?
Exactly, the one that Aiden wanted to draft.
Yeah. So, the only thing that they might have going, and not only that, like I said earlier, Matt Patricia is their offensive coordinator. Like and Judge is back, like as the fucking special offensive assistant or some shit.
Is his brother with the mullet still doing the defense?
With the
look at his lips.
I think that's his son.
That's his son?
That is.
Oh my god! What is that
it's
thing?
His son. Yeah, it's a monstrosity.
All right, that actually surprised me with that pick in that position, but it also doesn't. Like, the more you talk, it's like, yeah, it's a good point. Like,
and the only thing that they might have going for them is
just Belichick.
It's Bill Belichick. It's a Belichick run defense. He gets the most out of his players. I'm just when you look at the rest of the position groups, I'm just like
squeezing blood from a rock.
They lost Van Noy. They lost a few guys on the defense.
They're also still paying for all their offseason moves last year. They bought 2 tight ends.
Yeah, I know. They went and were like,
Henry
let's get
and-
Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry,
Yeah,
and
like-
then not use them.
And not use
Like-
them at all.
Like, okay, have fun. Like,
I'm gonna catch some
So-
passes, right? You're gonna block because our offensive
Yeah.
line sucks.
Now this is interesting. I could go between two teams again, but I'd be showing the bias a little bit.
Show it
So
away,
we're-
man. We're
well,
you know what
no,
we stand
we're-
for here.
No, I think because I honestly think they're a better team, and I would put this team first before them. If I had 2 picks in a row, I think I would pick them back to back. But with only 1 pick, so we're at what now? The 8th,
We are at you are
8
picking
from the bottom?
How many teams are there? 15.
16.
Then we're at 9. You're picking the 9th best, or the middle. You're the fucking smack dab in the middle right now.
The smack dab in the middle litmus test for
On the
AFC
cusp of playoffs is what you're looking at.
is the Miami Dolphins.
yep.
Yep. I personally was thinking Dolphins under the Patriots, but like on paper, the Dolphins are higher.
I wasn't expecting the Patriots to go early.
Yeah,
like,
same. And I'm cool with that because, like, Liam made valid points. They don't really got a lot going for them over there other than coach.
yeah. So for the Dolphins, it all hinges on Tua's development.
Yep.
He's surrounded with weapons now. He's got Waddle. He's got their running back is Chase. He's got Tyreek. Their running back is Chase Edmonds. Jasicki has established himself as a top half tight end for sure.
Waddle.
It's all.
And
it's
they're going to
all-
be running
yeah,
a
I said
Shanahan
Waddle.
offense.
Yeah, so he's got Waddle and he's got Hill.
Yeah, he said Tyreek.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Cedric Wilson is the other, and Raheem Mostert as the backup running back. So this is a stacked offense.
It's a prove-it year for him, for sure.
It's
Yes.
a prove-it year for Tua, absolutely. And if all else fails, they have Teddy Bridgewater.
That's right.
They do. They got the journeyman himself.
Even though I'm still a little miffed because I thought Fitzpatrick would have led that team to the playoffs, but they wanted to get cute with it and be like, no, we're going to start Tua. Like, no, you're winning with Fitzpatrick. Go with Fitzpatrick. But, I think that cost them the playoffs that year, but...
It'll be interesting to see how they rebound with a new coaching staff. The rumors of tanking in Miami. If they get off to a good start, they can put all that shit to rest. Let's see what's their opening 5 games like. Oh God, it's not good. All right, their first 5 games.
They play the Bills in the first 5, I think.
first 5 games: Patriots, Ravens, Bills, Bengals, Jets.
Yeah. Three of those games are
A
tough.
stacked first 4 weeks.
Bills
And then they
defense
get the
is
Jets.
tough. Ravens defense isn't that bad. You can kind of carve them up. Ravens offense is kind of like the scarier of the two, I don't know. It depends. I mean, if Tua can just turn into Allen, with arm cannon and fucking evasion, running around, rolling out, throwing on the run. If he could do that shit, then sure, 100%.
All right, so now we've moved into the top half.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we
So
did.
these are teams that definitely have playoff aspirations, but things could go wrong. They could miss.
Yeah, I
So-
feel like we got through the tough to pick ones, and I think I'm fortunate enough to be where I'm at because this seems like a no-brainer to me. It seems like a no-brainer. Again, I'm looking at 2 different teams, but I'm going with the Titans.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I think I know what other team you're looking at too.
Yeah.
Let's see if I picked them. But
yeah. So the Titans, you still got Tannehill. You have a question mark at receiving. They have been mediocre season-wise. Like, they beat good teams during the season. Every year.
Underperformed when it matters.
But the end of the season, when it matters most, is when they start fucking shit in the bed. So I don't think they did anything in the offseason to make that better. I don't think Tannehill has to carry the offense even more with losing his wide receivers, I just don't think it. I think Titans are going to be in in contention for the playoffs, but I think they're going to come up just short. So I like them at number 8.
Okay. So I guess I'm picking number 7 then?
Yeah, so we're talking about wild card now. This is a team
Number
that you would
pew,
expect to hit the wild card round.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders. Yeah, I think the Raiders are a wild card team. I think that they're in the hardest division in pretty much all of football.
That's true.
They could be the worst team in that division and still make the wild card.
Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened. I think
Look at the Orioles.
Carr is good, but if push comes to shove and you need someone to lead you down the field in crunch time, is he clutch? Does he have like the clutch gene in him? I don't know if he does.
I think didn't he do that in the playoff game against the Bengals? Like with no time left, he led them down and got a touchdown, and then just the defense failed him.
Maybe, but I feel like that's also, you have to, I guess, manage the game a bit better, because when you're playing like that, like, you gotta take the clock down. You cannot give the you can't give the opponent that much time. I think that they could have done better in terms of like clock management and all that in that scenario. I'm really not high on their defense, which, I mean, like you just said, like, the defense did fail them.
Yeah,
like that
they
without a doubt.
They have a couple good pieces. They have
a couple good pieces, but the whole Gruden Mayock era was just filled with so many terrible ideas.
Yeah, they had one hit during that era, I think. Yeah, and that was Crosby, who was like a late round pick that turned out to be pretty good.
Like, what do you think? This is why ESPN people shouldn't be allowed to run NFL teams.
That's why I feel like personalities shouldn't run teams. Like the Rex Ryans, the Grudens, those kind of guys. Except when it's
a personality void, like Belichick.
Well,
like, your personality is that you have no personality.
Yes. A black hole of personality.
Yeah.
But I think the Raiders will make the wild card, but I think there are just teams that are better.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough to me, I think. What's interesting is that we're at number 7, and the Raiders are the first team out of the AFC West.
Yeah.
So that just shows you how stacked that division is in our collective thoughts, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, Brennan. Now, who's next?
Now, had I had the pick for number 7, I would have put them before the Raiders. But you guys are higher on them than I am, and now I'm stuck at 6. So at 6, I will give it to you guys.
What are you talking about? We're lower on the Raiders than you are.
Really?
Who are we picking?
The Broncos.
Broncos? Okay.
I mean, I guess
because I think like you said, I think every team in this division can make a wild card round.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't think they go any further.
This division might be like the seeding is based off of the record inside the division.
You look at the teams that are left above the Broncos, and when you get past the Broncos at this point, you're looking at top 5 in the AFC. Who are you beating in a playoff game? I think the answer is none of them.
Yeah.
You have a pretty good offense. If Russ can get back to cooking, this could be a scary team. Defensively, they have pieces. I don't think they have a unit.
Yeah.
And I just don't know enough about them to really make a call either way. But it's sort of 6th place by attrition because, as Don said, who are you taking out?
You could,
who are you taking out of the top 5? Let's be real.
All right. Well, now it's Puz's turn.
No, it's your turn.
No,
it's your turn.
It's your turn.
Oh, who did you pick?
No, I went Raiders.
I
and
fucked
then,
the order up. Okay, yeah, I'm
you
sorry.
fucked the order up. Yeah.
Yeah, your turn. So you're picking number 5.
All right, number 5. Let me think here.
I already have my 2 picks. So
yeah,
I think...
like I feel like the teams that I'm thinking of again. Like I always, whenever it's my turn, I have 2 teams that I feel like are equal. I'm gonna have to pick the Chargers here.
Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
They haven't gotten past the hump with the team that they have yet. They haven't made it to the playoffs. They've always been on a cusp. I've ranked them. We've ranked them into the playoffs, but they just lost because Staley was like an idiot with time management in that game.
They chargered it.
Yeah, they sure did.
And they haven't broken the tradition of charging.
Yeah.
So
I pretty much I can agree with their placement here. I was thinking like again, this is a matter of like who are you gonna put out? Like who are you gonna, So who are you taking out?
yeah.
So I guess
Liam.
Despite how high I am on the Chargers all the time and how much I like to talk them up, they haven't shown the final step yet, the final piece to put it all together and make a deep run.
Yeah.
Haven't done it yet.
Like I feel like the pundits would rank them lower because of that, but we're not pundits, and we're just we're fans of good football.
We recognize the fact that they're still good.
I like Herbert. I like I think it's Mike Williams on that team, right?
yes.
Like I like Eckler. They have some good offense. I think they can
and
get
they
there.
shored
and I
up
hope
their
they
defense this year.
All right, right. All right,
'Cause
Liam. We got 4 teams left.
Who'd they get?
So
Who's the big name that they got? They got Khalil Mack.
Yes.
Oh right, yeah, that's so weird to see Mac there.
I know. So
All right, Liam.
number 4.
Whoever you don't take here, I'm probably taking it 3.
Yeah. For number 4, I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens.
That was the other.
Yep.
I think that they're a good team. I think that they can go potentially deep-ish into the playoffs. However, I do not think that they're championship game material. I think if they get there, they're getting there. Like, they still have a good defense. They still have a good offense. I think they're still a little short on wide receivers, but they make up for it in the fact that, Lamar is a good quarterback and he can run.
Especially if he takes a dump at halftime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have the same profile as the Chargers. They have all the pieces needed to make a good run. They just haven't done it yet. They've just choked.
Yeah.
I think they're just one decent piece away, and I think that that's wide receiver. And I think that, and if anyone on the Ravens is listening to this, not that they would be, but the Jets have a really decent wide receiver. His name is Denzel Mims.
We're taking phone calls.
We're taking phone calls. Starting bid is pretty much a Jamal Adams package. We want 2 first-rounders. But yeah.
I'm good with that pick, and I'm good with them being ahead of the Chargers because the Ravens, I think, have done more than the Chargers to prove that they can go further. So I think that's valid. We got 3 teams left.
Yep.
And
all right,
Brendan,
my
you're up
turn.
next.
Well, if it wasn't going to be the Ravens, it was going to be the other team that I think is, despite the success that they've had, it's only been recent success. For 3rd place, I will pick the Bengals.
Yep. That's fair.
I typed in already.
Yeah,
I would have been super shocked had you picked somebody else.
We already know the order of 1 and 2.
Do we though?
Yeah, like I feel like they can interchange, but I picked number 2, so I get to pick. I should get to choose the destiny.
You choose their destiny.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Bengals. Why do you think they aren't beating ahead of the other 2, even though they went to the Super Bowl?
Despite the fact that they beat the Chiefs last year in the AFC Championship game, it was a fantastic game. Because of the fact that it was a fantastic game, they didn't do it convincingly, and they had to come back at halftime. Like, don't get me wrong, Joe Burrow has more than proven in both college and now in the NFL. He has the clutch gene. He has the Brady gene. He is a master of Eli time. Okay?
But he's got that Heisman leg.
Jamar Chase, Rookie of the Year. Eli Apple, still shit. Get him.
No, didn't they cut him? Didn't they cut? Hold on, I just saw him in the news.
Probably because his mom said some weird shit again.
Oh God, fucking mama's boy.
No, Eli Apple is still on the team apparently.
Oh,
Yeah.
I heard
They short up their line. They short up their defensive front. They can get if they can get pressure on the quarterback, which they were kind of able to get to Mahomes. Mahomes is just such a fucking wizard. I think any other team besides maybe the Bills and the Chiefs, they win that AFC Championship game going away. You know, like they go up in the first or second quarter and don't look back. But because of the fact that it's Mahomes and he had, you know, an all-star cast around him, they went up, and it was up to Burrow to lead them back from, you know, the depths of despair to Super Bowl berth. Now, while the Chiefs do get weaker, I can't really get into them because it's not my pick. I'll just say the Bengals are absolutely solid. They've shown that they can get there. It's just the competition in the AFC at the tippy top of the AFC is so tight. I think they are just a smidge underneath them. If they can repeat what they did last year, I think they leapfrog them. Because that means in order to get to the Super Bowl, you are beating one of, if not both, of the top two teams. Puz, take it away for two.
All right. Well, this is... I really don't think this is a bias like situation either. But I'm definitely taking Kansas City at number 2. And I can kind of say that confidently because I feel like a lot of the media feels the same way.
I feel the same way.
Like last year, I feel like a lot of people put the Bills at number 2 and then Kansas City ahead of them. But things have changed. Even though 13 seconds happened and it fucking sucks. And it blows my mind that again, that is the last meaningful game of football that the Bills played. So they're eager to fucking show up tomorrow, I think, because they have to move on from that game. But yeah, Kansas City, they lost Tyreek Hill. They're trying to replace Tyreek Hill, which is going to be hard. They're trying to replace him with Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah.
Mahomes is still a hell of a quarterback. I just don't think the deep ball is a threat as much with their current receiving core. So they're going to have to win games like with strategy rather than big plays. And I think Kansas City can do that, obviously. But not having the big play to kind of pull them ahead in a game or come back when time is, you know, ticking down at 13 seconds. I don't know if they could do that without a guy like Hill. So, number 2 for me.
Yeah, that's why I said I thought, you know, despite the fact that the Chiefs got weaker, but I still put the Bengals underneath them because the Chiefs have just done it for longer.
Yeah.
So if the Bengals can prove that last year wasn't a fluke, I think they'll take over at least second place.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and obviously number 1 is the Bills. I mean, I think. I would have chosen the Bills as number 1 anyway.
Same.
You know, Allen is. I don't know if Allen's better than Mahomes, but he's damn near about equal. Which is definitely saying something. I think that they're two different styles of quarterbacks. But Allen is still really good. Like, you know, I mean, he could be touching on MVP this year. You
just gotta look. You just gotta look at you gotta look at Vegas. You gotta look at, you know, what the NFL's talking about. I mean, the Bills are a favored Super Bowl. Allen's the favorite MVP. Like, you can't have.
Yeah, but then Aaron Rodgers is gonna smoke peyote in the desert again, and he'll just.
I don't think. I don't know. Like, we're definitely not gonna have time for an NFC power rankings. Maybe we can just squeeze that in next week.
Do it next week.
It'll be week 2, and we'll have some bias as we saw like at least a week game or a week's worth of games. But I feel like it would have been the same either way.
Probably not. But yeah, I just think that they're very much a complete team. I think that they have a good defense. I think that they have a good offense. I like their wide receiver core. You know, the offensive line looks good. You know, maybe not great. Like they're other than Allen. You know, they may not be like the best at what they do, but they're top 5.
Yeah.
And when you're top 5 in enough of those categories, you're automatically going to be vaulted into at least the top 5 of the power rankings. And when you have someone like Allen leading your team, like as long as he keeps the turnovers down, and I think he's getting better at it, he's gonna be.
He's getting a lot smarter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our run defense has been shit this past year, but they made some huge upgrades, and by huge I mean like Jordan Phillips. They got big lads, you know, for the run defense game. They got Von Miller to get to the quarterback. Well, not really. Like I don't think Von Miller's meant to be the guy to tackle the QB.
He's the guy. He's the guy that teams are going to have to coach around. Yeah,
I think it's also just his mentorship with our rookie edge rushers is like gonna translate. Like our edge rushers are gonna get more total sacks this year than last year, and that's mostly because Von Miller's there. He's going to be on the line. He's good enough to call, you know, adjustments on the coverage if he has to. Like that's a job that Tremaine Edmonds does right now, but he knows things. So I think like our defense, it was best in the league last year. I think it's going to be fucking even scarier now. Like it's going to be good. Corner is the only question mark, but once Tre'Davious White comes back, if he's 100%, which after ACLs you never fucking know. Yeah, I mean, I think our corners and our deep safeties and our secondary was great last year, and our line sucked. I think that's going to flip-flop this year. I think our secondary is going to be a little weaker. But still good enough to make a run because Allen's going to score fucking 1 million points. Bills by 1 billion. I'm good with it. As everybody in my hometown, everybody says Bills by 1 billion.
I like it.
Hell yeah, brother.
Well, that was fun. I like doing the reverse power rankings. Kind of
that was fun. I like it. It's a different, you know, it's a different way of doing it instead of just being like, okay, here's number 1.
Yeah, no.
Here's
going bottom to top at round robin, and we pretty much had consensus opinions.
I think so.
For the most part.
There's really nothing that stuck out except for maybe Liam's Patriots pick, and which really wasn't even that bad.
That was around the time where I'm like, the next 4 teams.
Oh my
I feel
God,
like
Hicks hit a double down the line with the bases loaded, no shot.
Oh baby, I don't know what any of that means.
No shot. I was just about to say, oh boy, time to watch my boy Aaron Hicks strike out with the bases loaded, but he didn't.
There were 2 outs, so he grounded to a double play.
He did ground it, but the third baseman didn't catch it.
Well, I think that was a successful week 1.
Yeah.
Show.
Absolutely. That was fun as hell.
It was. So we'll we'll just kind of continue the formula, I guess. We'll just talk about Thursday Night Football. We'll talk our picks, and then we'll just have another topic that we kind of squeeze in at the end.
Yes.
So next week we'll do NFC power rankings backwards.
We're waiting on an actual NFL story because, like, you know, some crazy shit's gonna happen. You know, no, here's Antonio Brown. He joined the fucking Dolphins and then ran off in the middle of the game to, like, you know, like,
or, oh no, the Washington Stadium collapsed again.
Yeah, like, you know, or oh no, like, you know, literally everyone died. Like, you know, some crazy shit's gonna happen. Yeah, like it's the fucking NFL. Yeah,
like even during preseason, we could have talked about like Aaron Donald fucking dual wielding Cincinnati Bengal helmets and wailing on people with them.
Yep,
at the joint practice.
And we will hopefully have the full crew here next week.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't really know how much participation we're gonna get from everybody else, but I think us three as a decent core, and then just anybody else who wants to join in, I think would be fun. Some color commentary from like Justin or Aviel, I think would be good.
Yeah, I think Justin and Aviel are going to be, I guess, I don't want to call it tier 2, but like...
Well, they showed that they're not too into it. Justin, I think, would be. I think he's just kind of...
Justin would be. His sleep schedule is just fucked.
Justin's just kind of in a shit situation too right now, so...
Yes,
yeah, that is true.
I don't blame him too much. I blame Aviel way more for not being here.
I think what we need to do is we have to get Justin in, and then if Justin does participate, we got to give Justin... We got to give Justin like a 10 to 15 minute of Justin's hot takes.
Yeah, we gotta give him a segment. Absolutely.
He gets his own segment for sure. All right, well, I think I'm just gonna wrap it up there then.
Yep.
Sweet. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit stop because we don't really need to sign off because it's
a pleasure, everybody. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye. 3 viewers, which is probably us anyway. So.